Okay, awesome. Okay, so like, okay, awesome. So like Comfort said, I am the content strategy lead for enterprise marketing at InterSwitch. So before that, I used to work with an advertising agency, a major advertising agency here in Nigeria called Inside Purposes. So, and what encompassed my role then was basically full digital strategy and media planning and buying, basically. So, in that particular role, and over the course of time, I've had the experience of having to explore meta platforms, right? And also coupled with training for She Leads Africa, a meta supported, community training program. Basically, it has opened my eyes to a number of things about meta, how that meta keeps improving and iterating. So, like Comfort said at the beginning, what you see today, the way you've known some of these platforms before, it keeps changing. They keep bringing different things, new ways of doing things, and all of that. So sometimes you might come on a platform and just it's always like it's different from how I used to see it. But the truth of the matter is that the core of it, the way things used to be done before, are still not changed. The tools might change, and the interface might change, and all of that. But the core of essentially what used to be done on that platform has not changed. So if you've been on Ad Manager before and it used to be easy to use before and all of that, what they've just done is that they've added some new things that you can use, or some redefinition of some certain things that you've known before, basically. But essentially, a lot has not really changed. So you still, the fundamentals have not changed. You still have to select what your objectives are. You still have to start, have exciting kind of budget. You still have to, set up your campaign, choose your audience, and all of that stuff. So, like I said, fundamentals still remain the same. So, quickly, what we are going to cover is, based on what we have available on ground now, the interface and how it works and all of that. These are what we are going to cover. Like, you need to define who you want to reach. You need to determine where you are to appear, and then you need to set advertising budget and schedule, basically. So now, talking about, before I go into the whole setup and all, everyone here, or almost everyone here, is a business person. If you don't have a personal business, I know someone here is a banker. I don't know who mentioned that she's a banker, she's a salesperson. So what I like to think is that everybody is a business person, no matter where you are, whether you're a career person or you're in business. Because whether you are in an organization, you can also be an entrepreneur, basically one who is saddled, like who takes the business, even though it doesn't belong to them, as their own, basically, who drives growth, basically just drives the way an entrepreneur drives. But the also different one is that the business is not theirs, but they are owning it by how they are driving it and how they are working. And entrepreneurs here too, you have your businesses you are running and all of that. Basically, everybody wants to see growth. And the truth of the matter is that if you want to see growth, you don't just wish for growth, or you don't just do some series of activities and wish for growth to happen. Growth needs to be intentional and strategic. And this is one of the things I used to tell business owners, basically. A lot of business owners, they focus solely on, how do I get more money, and how do I, just basically drive more volume in terms of sales and all of that. And that now drives them to become tactical instead of strategic. They just keep doing different things. Oh, this one is selling today, they sell this one. Oh, that is selling today, they sell that one. Oh, they're just everywhere, basically. And the truth of the matter is that you have to be strategic. And what I mean by that is that one Chinese word general, Sun Tzu, it said that tactics without strategy is like the noise before defeat. So what he was essentially saying is that if you do not have a roadmap of how you want to achieve some certain objectives or how you want to achieve a goal, if you are just here and there doing this one, doing that one, and all of that, you are just making noise. And before you know it, you end up not achieving anything. But when you are at the beginning, you already have some set objectives and goals, and then you have a roadmap to achieving it. That's what's going to deliver results for you and return on investment, basically. So, and that is, it speaks to everything you do in business. It also speaks to a thing as basic as running ads for your business. So let's start from the beginning. Talking about running ads for your business, the first thing is that you need to have what we call business goals. Business goals. So, for instance, now, let's say I'm a realtor, like someone on the call, and I sell high-end properties and all of that stuff. One of my business goals would be maybe to make more sales, like sell more high-end properties to, HNIs and all of that stuff. Maybe I have those kind of business goals. You understand? Or maybe I'm even an unknown brand before. So, for instance, now I know about Sujimoto. Sujimoto is a luxury real estate company, right? They sell luxury properties, Lucrezia and all of those stuff that they are building. Those stuffs are multi-million dollar properties and all of that stuff. So they are not selling it to people like me yet, because I don't have millions of dollars yet. I hope I have it very soon. But they are not selling. So basically, when those kind of people are selling, when they are selling, their goal will be to sell or to sell to a certain set of people and all of that stuff, and to make certain kinds of sales. All these things, I may not know their goals, but all these things, it is clear that they will have some certain business goals that they need to have, right? So when they have those business goals, the next is, now, if I have these business goals, how do I translate them in terms of advertising? So that means I would have what I call advertising objectives too. Advertising objectives too. I want to go back to, and I'm not in presentation mode currently. I want to see the chart so that I can see who said what, right? I know that, is Ajiboye Oladapo the example I was using, right? He's into real estate. So Ajiboye Oladapo, you could help us by saying what some of your business goals are, right? Okay, Chioma is here. She says, I sell shortlets and cheap home appliances. Nice. So let me use Ajiboye Oladapo's business as an example, then I'll jump to another person. So that point, you can share some of your business goals with us. So looking at the business goals, having those kind of business goals, you can now translate them to advertising objectives. Advertising objectives will now mean that if I have this certain goal, what will my advertising objective be? So for instance, I want to make more sales of high-end properties to HNIs, that is high net worth individuals in Nigeria. That's my business goal within this duration of time. And remember, your goals are supposed to be smart. They're supposed to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound, basically. So I know that this is my goal. This is what I want. I want to do X, Y, Z within this duration of time, and all of that. It's clear. Now advertising. I know that when I want to employ advertising, first of all, if I'm HNIs, I would want to reach them on platforms like maybe LinkedIn and even maybe Instagram and all of that. Maybe not necessarily Facebook. So you can see that you have to be strategic. I'm still coming to that part why I decided those kind of platforms. Remember, being strategic. You need to understand what platforms fit my target audience. We're still getting the point of target audience. So let's say I'm even using Facebook, but I'm using Instagram and all of that stuff. I want to advertise to my target audience. I have to know that, Dapo is raising his hands. Dapo, you can unmute yourself and say what you want to say. I asked a question before and I wanted you to answer. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Can you hear me? Good afternoon.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So like I've said, I'm into real estate, and my goal is to reach out to many people as possible, like not just people that can afford my properties. Like I've said, I sell high-end properties in strategic locations, especially VI, Ikoyi, Lekki, Magodo, name it. So now, actually, I leverage on what's it called, email marketing more. I don't know whether you are familiar with MailChimp.
Yeah.
And I use MailChimp a lot. And again, I leverage on LinkedIn by, I extract, contact on LinkedIn. So now the thing is, I want to when I saw the ad or your online webinar, so I decided to join just for me to, extend my tentacles, concerning the advertising platform. You understand? So I know, Facebook, I don't really believe maybe I can see high quality leads on Facebook, but I just want to give it a shot and to learn from this webinar what I can really gain from here. That is why I'm here, and I've told you the goal to reach out to many people as possible, close deals. That's all.
All right. Awesome. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
So I think it's clear now what someone like that his business goals would be. Now I honestly agree with you about Facebook, right? About Facebook, not because you have to just look at your target audience. Who are the kind of persons you are trying to reach? It is said that now Facebook is a lot of people. Facebook is still the largest social media. Right? A lot of people are there. But in terms of activities, a lot of people are not active on it, especially young people, and especially maybe the older people and all of that. And then also looking at the category of people you are trying to reach. The average person in the target audience category you may not find them on Facebook because these are high-end individuals. It's not as they are not on Facebook, but it's not as rampant as you would on maybe. Can you mute that one? It's interception. So maybe on LinkedIn, for instance, LinkedIn is a more strategic platform to STEM, for instance, and you could even also leverage Instagram. It's possible. So, but looking at your business goal now, it's very clear that this is what you want. Now, if that's what you want, then your advertising goal should also be clear. Advertising objective should also be tied to it. You want to, number one, you want to achieve what we call awareness. Where you say you want to reach as many people as possible. Now, mind you, reaching as many people as possible does not mean reaching everybody. It means reaching people who are in the category of target groups that you should be reaching. So, you want to create awareness. That's I'm translating it into advertising lingo now. You want to create awareness. You also want to drive sales. You want to drive sales or basically conversion. That is what you want to do. That is your goal. So you have a business goal. Now, translating into advertising objective, you want to drive awareness and you want to drive sales for your business. Now, you have to now make it smart. You can now say that, okay, your business has been reaching out to this number of people before. You've been reaching out to maybe you're in your database, in your email newsletters and all of that stuff. You have maybe like 100 people or 50 people or 200 people at this maybe. You can now say, okay, I want to reach out to maybe 1,000 people or maybe 500,000 people, depending on what your capacity is. Within my target groups, I want them to be aware of my real estate business. That is within this duration of time, within 2 months, within 3 months. That is your smart objective for advertising, right? Another smart objective will also be, okay, I want to drive sales. I want to sell XYZ number of high-end real estate properties to my target group within this duration of time. You can see how differentiated it is compared to me saying, oh, I want to sell more, or I want to let more people know about my business. That one is not so clear. That one is not so strategic. That one is not so smart. But when you have details, when you are to the letter that I want to sell this number of things within this duration of time on this platform, this target group of people, it is very clear. Do you get it? So once we move from that, we can now go to the tools, right? And before you also do that, so you also need to explore who your target groups are and what your budget is. So we are going to deal with each of these one by one so that when we are on the tool, it's now very clear. So let me keep sharing my screen. So now, reach more people that is likely going to be interested in what you are offering. Now, we need to understand something, that to get on Facebook platform, to get on Facebook Meta platform, now you can advertise on Facebook or Meta platform in different ways. Some people advertise directly from the Instagram. You can do that. It's very easy to do, right? You just go to, especially if your Instagram handle is already a business page, link it to a Facebook page. That won't be possible unless you are linking to a Facebook page, right? Whenever you create an Instagram handle, it's just an ordinary Instagram profile. But when you now need to turn it to professional, and there are two types of professional. There is a creator's page, and then there is a business page. So if you're a creator, if you're a content creator and all of that stuff, the creator's page works for you, right? Especially even if you're a business, but you want to explore a lot of creative tools that Instagram has, right? You can choose to leave your page as creator. But if you're a business, you can also choose to leave your page as a business. But essentially, to turn it to either of them, you need to first link it to a Facebook page. So you need to create a Facebook page and also an Instagram handle. Then you connect them, and then it becomes a business. You just go to settings, you turn it to a business page or a creator's page. Now, moving ahead or moving away from that, what I was talking about, that you could run ads on any of Meta's platforms, either from Instagram, the app itself directly. That one is very easy to do and all of that stuff. Or from your Facebook page. That one is also very easy to do. But the difference with that is that you may not have access to a lot of a lot of tools, a lot of things to do. You know, the way that I change a lot of things, like in terms of my audience, I can set my audience very well. I can do some kind of targeting. You know, there are a lot of things I can do on Ads Manager itself that I may not be able to do directly from my Instagram app. So what people now do is to run their ads for both Facebook and Instagram from Ads Manager. And you can do that once your Facebook and Instagram is linked together, right? And the question is, how do you get to Meta Ads Manager? How do you get to Meta Ads Manager? Now, it's not here, but you can just take note of it. You can get to Meta Ads Manager in different ways. Number one, you can go through Facebook Business, or now called Meta Business, Facebook Business, or Meta Business. And how do you get to that place? Just go to business.facebook.com. Business.facebook.com. Now, that Facebook Business or Meta Business is now called Meta Business Suites. Meta Business Suites. And it's called Meta Business Suite because there are a lot of things that Meta has given you. There you can schedule your posts across Facebook and Instagram. You can, have a bird's eye view of everything. Before this end of this session, I'm going to show you how the Meta Business Suite works, so that I just have a bird's eye view of it. It's not the crux of our discussion today. That's why it's not here. But I'm going to show you how it works, basically. So you can schedule your posts. You can do a lot of things on Meta Business. So you can get to Ads Manager from Meta Business Suite. You can also get to Ads Manager from the Facebook page itself. From a Facebook, if you have a Facebook page, just go to the page, click on the three dots at the top right corner. You'll be able to see, go to visit Ads Manager. This is Ads Manager. You can also go to Ads Manager directly by just typing ads like ads.facebook.com. If you already have a Facebook page, it takes you straight to your Ads Manager for that page. That's what happens. So you might want to practicalize that now. And the good thing is that you can also, there is an app for Facebook Business Suite on Play Store app, so you can also download that on your phone and use it to track your campaigns and all of that. So now, looking at how do you create ads in Ads Manager. So let's say we want to ads.facebook.com, and then we've created it takes us to our Ads Manager. So what you need to do is that you click on this green button that you can see on this platform, that create button. When you click on it, you have a number of objectives. Now, to be clear, what you see now, you'll see it's still pretty much the same thing, but what you see now, you see awareness, you see conversion, you see engagement, and you see conversion. Now, all of these things, all of this that you are seeing under it, they are pretty much still speaking to what is at the top. Awareness. Remember what I was talking to another on about his goal and his objective. Awareness, engagement, conversion, basically. So we'll talk about all of this one by one. So let's look at each of the objectives. For awareness, remember, people. He wants people to be aware. He wants people to know about his business, right? So, and there are two kinds of awareness. There's a brand awareness, there's a reach. Reach is all about if you want the number of people you want to reach as many people as possible. Brand awareness is basically, especially if you're a new brand, if you just, and you need to let a lot of people know about your existence. What happens is that Facebook helps you to serve those ads to people who are likely going to remember or recall your brand, basically. And that's what brand awareness is about. So the goal here, or the objective here, is to make people aware, right? Is to make people aware. You are not tracking, that, and the good thing about online advertising is that it is trackable. But here, you're not tracking sales, you're not tracking those things that are clear. What you are tracking is awareness. How many people did my ads appear to, right? It might not necessarily translate directly to sales, right? It might, but you cannot necessarily, link it to sales. That this person is coming to me because they saw my ad and all that. But where you can link it to sales are these other ones. This consideration, some parts of this consideration, and also some parts of conversion. So for instance now, if you really now know how many people are coming from my ads to buy from me, it's based on this kind of objectives that you chose. For instance now, if you chose, let's start from the bottom. If you chose messages objective, what it means is that you are saying, I want people that see my ads to chat me up, either on WhatsApp Business or Messenger, right? I want to see their messages, let them make inquiries about this and all of that. If I'm achieving that, that means I'm achieving a set objective that I set, right? If it is lead generation, for those of us that are doing business, especially for someone that is doing all this, high-end business or lead kind of business like real estate, you know that what you actually need at first is leads. You need a number of people to, indicate interest. You need their data and all of that. You now need to upsell them subsequently at all times. That's what lead is all about. Getting their data, their names, their email address, phone number, and all of that. People that are likely going to be converted based on their behavior, that, they are showing interest. So we can get their data and then upsell them and cross-sell them later, basically. So that's, if you are having that as an objective, you're able to, depending on the number of data you're able to get, it's showing that, okay, you're getting this number of data based on these ads that you're running, and this data is coming from these ads that I'm running. video views too. Video views, you just created a video, just published a video, and you want a number of people to see the video. Depending on the views that you get, it will really show, okay, these are the number of people that viewed your video, because that is your objective, basically. You have an app that you are trying to get people to download. The same thing. You have a post that you want people to engage with, that to make comments, to like, or to view the video. That's also an objective. Then traffic is basically about getting people to visit the website, maybe a landing page, for instance. You want a lot of people to visit the website. If, for instance, if you are a news platform and you know you are new, but you want a lot of people to visit your platform, when you are promoting, when you are advertising it, you understand, when people, your objective can be for people to click on it so that it takes them to the landing page and then they see what you have there. Basically, if your objective is traffic, so you're able to track that this number of people visited my landing page because of my ads, right? Because they saw the ads and they clicked on it. And then coming to conversion. So conversion, basically, it's an advertising word for sales or for action, for people taking an action you want them to take. So conversion can be sales, conversion can be people registering for something, conversion can be anything. Conversion is basically them doing what I intended for them to do. It might be for them to download something. So for instance, I'm selling something and then maybe I have an e-commerce platform, or I'm selling something online, and then I need people to click on my ad, taking them to the landing page and then buy. So once they add to cart and they pay for it, I've converted. That might be my objective that I choose. So people that have catalog on Facebook and all of that, it might be to drive catalog sales. That's the part of conversion. For some people, it is store traffic. Maybe they have particular stores and they want people to come online. That's also a form of conversion. So the most important thing, like I said before, is that you need to select an objective. And when you go on the platform, you might see these objectives like arranged differently now, or their nomenclature has changed, but it's still the same. We are still going to go to the platform and I'll let you see what I'm saying. So once you select an objective, you determine who will see your ads. Now, determining who will see your ads basically has to do with what target audience are you trying to reach. Now, I'm going to use another person's business as an example. Let me see whose business I can use as an example. So, but before I go on, I want to be sure that I'm not talking to myself. Are we following? If you are following, just drop an emoji. Just let me know that I've not been talking to myself.
Yeah, we're listening.
Okay. All right. Cool. So now I want to use someone's business as an example, so that we are very clear. Chioma, are you on the call? Do you mind us using your business as an example? So Chioma's sells shoplets and thrift home appliances. So what I understand by this, Chioma, if you're on the call, you can unmute and explain what this means. But what I understand by this is that is it shop-let homes or shop-let home appliances? So if there are shop-let home appliances, you are saying that you let out your home appliances for a certain period, some home appliances for a certain period of time for people to use, and then for a fee. Is that the business? Is Chioma on the call? Or who wants to volunteer their business? I can use as an example. Okay, Emmanuel is here. Blessing is here. So,
My own is.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, Stacy wants to say something.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My own is real estate. I sell land and houses, and I also rent houses too.
You rent houses?
Yeah, but I mainly sell land and sell houses.
You sell land. Wow, a lot of real estate people are here. That's cool. So, you sell lands, you rent out lands and all of that stuff. So, Stacy, let me put you on the spot for a bit. I want to really do, and I don't know if you were here when I was talking about business goals and advertising objectives. Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say? Tell me your business goal, and maybe tell me one of your business goals, and then let's say you are taking one of business, like you are now taking it to advertising. You want to advertise your business on Facebook and Instagram and all of that. What would translate that business goal to an objective, an advertising objective, based on what the example I gave or what I said before?
Oh, okay.
So that we can use your business. Okay.
Oh, okay. First of all, it's not long that I started this real estate. Before real estate, I've really been into sales and marketing. But for this real estate with this side, one of my goals is for me to be like the top 5 realtor. Like if you're thinking of top 5 realtor in anything Nigeria and Africa, I should be among that's the main business goal. And also to one of my another business, I don't know if I should say this because it's kind of like something I'm thinking about, but basically to create something that if you're looking for a developer, you get. If you're looking for a landlord, you get. If you're looking for agents, you get. I don't know if you understand. I don't want to go deep into it. Yeah, but basically we're all in one. Maybe website, app, whatever it is. Like you can get everything with it. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but I don't want to go.
So for your real estate business, you want to create a platform, right?
Yeah.
All in one platform. Okay.
Yeah, the one I want to be. Yeah, so apart from me being like the top 5, I also want it somewhere people can. If, for example, when people invest, you understand. For example, if someone is looking for someone to do a joint venture, you contact me. If you're looking for a developer, you contact me. If you want to get a land, you contact me. If you want to even get things like full house automation, because I also have blog for that too. Full house automation, to contact me. Basically everything rounding up to from the land to the building to the automation.
Okay, so what you want to be is that you want to be an end-to-end. Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Everyone can hear me, okay. So basically, we want to be an end-to-end realtor. We want to be an end-to-end realtor, basically. We want to be a realtor that offers a wide range of services to
Hello? I can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yes.
I was saying that you want to be a wide range of like end-to-end services in terms of from start to finish, from purchase to development and all of that.
Yeah,
right?
Like a one-stop.
Yes. Yeah, a one-stop shop for real estate.
Yes.
Purchase and development, and that is very good. So, if you have that kind of business, and then you are translating it into objective, that means you are an advertising objective. That means you are saying that you want to reach. First of all, I think you would want to create awareness about your positioning. And what I mean by your positioning is that you are saying this is the kind of real estate company that you are, the one-stop shop for XYZ and all of that stuff. So you have to sell your positioning first, create awareness about it, let people know that this is the kind of real estate company you operate and all of that stuff. Then another objective will now be, driving sales, like getting actual customers that you offer this all-round service to. Basically, so understanding that you have this kind of goal and this kind of objective. So how does that work when it comes to advertising? So let's talk about determining who will see your ads. Remember that anything that you do on the advertising platform emanates from what your business goal has always been. So let's say you are into, for someone that is into high-end, like another person that is into high-end real estate, he knows that his target audience are different, right? They are not everyday people that cannot afford this what he's selling. So if he has those kind of target audience, then even in terms of selecting his target audience on when setting up his ad, he already knows who he's setting it up for. So a good thing to the beginning, apart from having what your business goal is, define who your target audience are. Define who your target audience are. There's something that we can do. It's called persona, the buyer persona. Buyer persona. And what the buyer persona means is that who is a typical person? Who is a typical? I can see other persons, and I'll come to you very soon. Other people, you can even help us out here. But before I do that, let me just do a breakdown of what a buyer persona is. The typical person that would purchase from you based on what you are selling. Who is your typical kind of customer? Who is your typical kind of customer? So you need to consider two major things. You need to consider one thing called the demography and psychography. Those are the two things you need to consider. Demography. And what did you say?
So what is demography and the demography?
Yeah, demography. I will explain what that means. Demography and psychography. Psychography is spelled Psycho, then graphy.
Can you slow down? It's spelled and it's spelled how?
Okay, I'm going to drop it in the chat section now.
Okay.
Let me just drop it here. This is demography. This is psychography. So, demography is basically description of your target audience in terms of physicals. So when I say physicals, in terms of who they are, gender, in terms of age range, in terms of location, and all of that. Psychography has to do with behavior and values. Behavior, values, and all of that stuff. That's what psychography has to do with how they think, how they behave, what they believe in, what they need. You understand? Or even what they believe they need. So when you know that, you are saying that, okay, I sell high-end properties. The kind of people that are going to buy it, I know that there are a lot of young, rich Nigerians here, but you find out that a lot of people that would have the money to buy all those high-end properties. So for instance now, a 200 million property, or a 300 million, or a 500 million property, for instance, or even a 1 billion naira property. Which age range will be able to afford that? I'm sure of course young people can afford that, right? But mostly, which age range? Let's talk. You can just if you tell me what you think, you can drop in the chat section, or you can unmute your mic and say what
age range from like 35 to like 65, 35 and above.
35 and above.
Yes.
When you do that kind of business, do you agree?
Or 40 and above, people that can buy maybe houses in Banana Island, expenses of 1 million, 1 billion, 40 and above.
Movelich says 35 to 55. Okay. So 35, I think we have a preponderance of 35, 40. So let's start from 35. Blessing is saying 45 to 70. Yeah, cool. So we can have that age range. We may not even have like an end trying to say something. Are you using two devices? Because I could hear myself echo, and you raised your hands also. If you are good, you can unmute your mic and say what you think.
No, I'm not trying to say anything. Sorry, that was a mistake.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
So let's say So let's say I'm still okay. I can get myself. Okay, so let's say we are settling with 40 or 35. I could choose 35. You know why? Because of certain young people that are likely going to be able to buy. After there are some 35-year-olds, right? So 35, of course, I won't go and start with 18. I won't go and start with 20. The same way, if I'm selling makeup, maybe I do makeup and I'm advertising my stuff, I will focus on a certain gender, and I would also start from a particular age range, basically. So you need to be clear when you understand who your target audience are. So let's say for these high-end properties now, 35 and above, 35 to like 70, like someone said. Let's say, yeah. And then you say, what are their gender? They can be male and female, right? And then what are the locations you are targeting? You are targeting locations like maybe Lekki, VI, all those kind of high-end or premium locations that you know that this kind of category of people would live in, right? And then you understand that they stay in this certain kind of area. And then what else in demography have we not talked about? We talked about gender, we talked about age range, we talked about location. Let's go to psychography. So what are their behaviors? What are their beliefs? Number one, let's say in terms of behavior, let's talk about behavior first of all. Let's describe them. Let's say we are talking to Johnson, for instance. Let's say Johnson is 45. He lives in Lekki. He is a businessman. Maybe he's a businessman too who imports and exports and all of that stuff. I don't know the kind of business they will be doing. So that is Blessing. Let's talk. Johnson is on, in terms of behavior now, is on this particular social media. He's on LinkedIn. He's on, maybe he always checks about business and professional developments on LinkedIn. He's always reading about stuff on let's say business day. He's always reading about business and economics on business day, following on platforms like Business Day, The Economist, Bloomberg, and all of that stuff. He is on Twitter sometimes, just follow trends. Of course, he reads all those newspapers like The Punch and all of that. And then he believes in that money should be able to buy luxury. You understand? He believes that he has the money, he should enjoy it. I'm talking about typography, how he thinks. When someone has money, then they should be able to do what? Enjoy it, right? What are other mindset that you think all those kind of people would have? Let's talk about mindset, because whatsoever mindset they have will be dependent on how they are going to patronize you. You can drop any of those mindset that you know in the chat section. But moving on, so we already define our target audience. We now create an audience persona, a buyer persona, as the case may be. Give him a name. I've given him a name. Johnson is this certain age. He lives in this place. Is this gender? He believes this. He believes that. He believes that. And all that. So once I have that, I'm now able to, whatsoever ads I'm running, from creative development. That means from developing maybe my flyer or banner or the video I'm creating for my campaign. I know that I'm creating it for Johnson because Johnson believes this. Johnson is a certain kind of person, and that's why I'm creating this kind of thing for him. And when I'm targeting Johnson. Somebody said he believes affordable things are fake. Yeah, some of them have that kind of mindset. So you can see that it's very important to create a buyer persona before you even now go to the platform and now start setting your campaign. Because once you've done that, half of the job is done. So the next thing you now need to do is to choose where your ads will appear, and then also set up your campaign. So we've talked about determining who will see your ad. We've talked about having a buyer persona. And now let's talk about choosing where your ads will appear, because both of them are intertwined. So let's say you're on the platform now and you set up your ads. So what happens is that, like I said before, you've chosen your objective. The next thing is that you are choosing your audience. On this interface, you can see how the interface is. You have the opportunity to either create a new audience or to use a saved audience. There's something we call custom audiences. Custom audiences are basically kinds of audiences that you create yourself, right? In terms of maybe you already have a list. Some people use Excel sheets. They already have a list, like let's say their names, their email address, and all of that. You already have that list. Or some people have done some campaigns before, so they have an audience list from that. Or you can also set it manually on the platform, which I'm going to show you now. So setting manually will mean that choosing location you want your ads to appear. So we talk about that real estate business. So we want your ads to appear in Lekki, in BI, and all of those places. You can always select your location. You can see the location that is appearing here: United States, Chicago, plus 25-mile radius. So what it is saying is that some person that set up this ad selected United States, selected Chicago area, selected that the ad should also appear not just in Chicago, but within 25-mile radius of Chicago. So beyond Chicago, extending 25 miles above. So you can even limit. You can also always set. You can set 5 miles, 2 miles, or you can even set just this city alone and limit the radius, right? So you can set a particular city, you can set a particular town, you can set a particular street. I remember when I used to run, now it's not advisable, I'm just using an example. I used to run campaigns for a particular financial services organization, and their headquarters was at VI. Now, the thing is that there was a certain product that they had that they are trying to push. Now, that product is typically not for the target audience that were working for them, those kind of people. It was for traders, like people like who are market people and all of that. I know that when I'm targeting this kind of people so that my campaign can perform, I can reach people I'm supposed to reach and all of that. So it typically means that some people will not see it. People like them will not see it. People like me will not see it because I'm not the target audience, right? So, but my clients will always want to see the ad. They will say they are not seeing the ad as if they are the target audience, and they are not the target audience. So, one thing I did was that a little part of that campaign, I just devoted a little budget to it and just basically use it to target their location, target them. They won't be seeing the ad, let them be seeing it. But I'm making sure my campaign is performing and reaching people supposed to. So I was just trying to paint that picture for you to see that you can reach as little. If you want to reach people in a certain streets, you can always set it that we just need to, select it on the map. You understand? Choose that certain location. So far, the location is appearing on the map, existing on the map. You can always choose it, and for it to appear within a certain radius of that location. So you can see that you can also select the age that you want. Here, the age 46 to 55 selected. You can select gender. Here, it's selected all gender. We can either select male or female. You can also now do sort of like a detailed target. Now, this works for psychography. You already know their psychography. Like this, their behavior. This is what they are interested in and all of that. So you select those kind of interests. So let's say we are targeting for a restaurant brand that sells that caters to all kinds of cuisine, Italian, French, and all of that stuff. So you can, in terms of interest, you can just search for all those kind of interest, Italian cuisine, French cuisine, all of those stuff. So you are doing more by detailed targeting, that you are not just reaching this kind of people or this kind of broad people. You're also reaching people within this kind of broad people that are interested in X, Y, Z. Right? I can also select language, but the thing is that it's always good to leave it in all languages, right? Because some people on their platform, they set some certain language, and they are those kind of people you want to reach. So it's always safe to leave it in all languages. Now, the next thing is that when you click on next, you can see the next button, the blue next button. It takes you to your placement. Like, what kind of placement do you want to have? And I'll explain what placement means in terms of choose where your ads is going to appear. Remember, we're talking about Facebook or Meta. Now, Facebook has multiple platforms. It's Facebook that has Facebook, the platform. And it's Facebook that has Instagram. It's Facebook that has Messenger. There's also something we call Facebook Audience Network. Now, you can choose your ads to appear on all these platforms that belong to Facebook. Or you can choose your ads to appear on only maybe Facebook, or on only maybe Instagram, or on only maybe Messenger, right? And now within Instagram, there is Instagram Stories, there is Instagram Feed, there is Instagram Reels. There are all those parts. So you can decide that you want your ads to appear only on Feed, for instance, Instagram Feed, or only on Facebook Feed, or maybe on Facebook Stories and all of that. But the truth of the matter is that for you to have done that, for you to be able to do that effectively, your ads in terms of type and dimension need to fit to this. Now, what I mean is like this. I know many of us know that many of us create reel videos and all of that. Now, you know that when it comes to reels is a portrait kind of dimension that your reels, those kind of videos that you can post as reels, right? Those certain kind of dimension. If you are creating a reel that is landscape, you understand what I mean by landscape in terms of size. It will really look cool and all of that stuff. But when your reels video is portrait, like is long, is that is it 9:16 kind of dimension? It's very easy. It's very like it looks cool for reels and all of that stuff. Now, we need to understand something. There's a new development. If you observe something on Instagram, you'll see that all videos are now categorized as reels. All videos. Before, you used to have normal videos, all those normal 60-second videos and all of that stuff. And then you have is if you go to you can go to your Instagram application right now, and you see, you know that before it used to have like three or four dots at the top. One would be for normal videos, one would be for reels videos, right? But now all your videos are now categorized as reels. All your videos are now categorized as reels. If you've seen that stuff, you can indicate in the chat section that yes, I've seen that stuff. So if all your videos are now categorized as reels, what it means is that you need to optimize every video content that you create for reels. Every video content. So when you are creating video content, think reels. And what I mean think reels in terms of dimension, not in terms of content. I will explain what I mean. Some people, when they think about reels, they feel reels are only those kind of videos that you do with your phone, and then you edit put text on it, all those transitional reels, all those kind of videos that now add music and all of that on reels. Yeah, those are kind of reels. But think about reels in terms of dimension. Any video that you create, that you now make that reel size is real. Whether you shot that video with your Canon or your Nikon camera, so far is that dimension. In your editing, you've made it that dimension. It is reels. Whether it is a very long video, whether it's not a typical reels video that you see people create, all those videos created by a content creator, whether it's a normal, so far is that dimension. It is reels. So whatsoever content you are creating, whether it is video for your business, make sure you optimize this for reels. Because if you don't do that, what happens is that when you are now promoting your stuff and you want it to appear on reels so that a lot of people will see reels, you want it to appear on feed, you want it to appear on stories and all that. If it's not done according to the dimension that it needs to be done, you may not be able to select that option. When you are selecting that, it can appear on reels. It will not just, you'll not be able to select it. But when your video fits the reels dimension, it can appear on feeds, it can appear on stories, it can appear across platforms. It's very important that you understand that. So automatic placement means that, and it's always recommended by Meta, it means that your ad can appear across all these platforms. Like I said before, you are telling Meta that make sure my ad appears across all these platforms. I don't want to choose. But for manual placement, you are choosing that I only want my ads to appear on this place, or on this place, or on that place. You can either choose any of those options. So moving on, and let's talk about designing your ads. I've touched on that in bits, talking about reels. Now, designing your ads, Meta always advises minimalism. And what do I mean by that? Some of us, we are creating flyers, or we are creating videos, and it's filled with a lot of text. It filled a lot of things, and the truth of the matter is that it's not going to perform well because Meta will limit the number of people that would see it. And the reason is that it's too busy. Meta wants your information to be punchy and just straight to the point. So sometimes they advise you just even use a picture, or if the text, let it design, let what you are, tell the whole story of what you are trying to sell, basically. So for instance now, as a restaurant business, a restaurant, and in advertising, what you do is that you show, you don't tell. You show, you don't tell. Imagine me selling food, like food. Maybe, why do you think, let me even use an example. Why do you think when they're advertising noodles, all those noodles like Indomie and all of that stuff, why do you think is a cooked one they show you? Like the ones that they've garnished with carrots and all of those things that looks good for you to eat. But when you're going to market, that's not what you're buying. You're buying your normal noodles, unprepared noodles. But what they are trying to show you is that this is what can be done. This is what you are buying. They are painting a picture for you instead of telling you about it, basically. So the same way as a business owner, and I'm quickly going to delve into something that is out of scope, but let me just talk about it. I remember when I was in creative school, like advertising and copywriting school, they will tell us that there is the benefit and then there is the benefit of the benefits. And there is a product, or there is the functionality, then there is the benefit, and then there is benefit of benefit. They will tell us that don't sell the functionality, don't sell the benefit, sell the benefit of the benefit. And what it means is that you don't sell what the product can do. In some cases you can, but mostly you can't, or you shouldn't. So don't sell what the product can do. Don't also stop at selling the benefits that the buyer would achieve or enjoy from buying the product. Sell the benefit of that benefit. Let me give you a typical example. So let's say that I'm someone, maybe I sell bespoke men's suits, right? I sell bespoke men's suits to professionals and all of that stuff. Now, the functionality of selling that bespoke men's suit is that maybe functionality could be in terms of affordability, could be in terms of dressing, all of that. I could say, oh, buy affordable men's suits and all of that. A benefit would maybe buy, or let's say buy beautiful or buy nice looking men's suits and all of that. So that's the functionality of it, right? In terms of benefits, it could be look smartly to your meetings, or look like the boss that you are. You understand? That's the benefits of dressing nicely in my suit, right? What is the benefit of that benefit? If you dress nicely to a meeting that involves contracts, you understand? What would be the benefit? The benefit of that benefit of me dressing nicely to that place that I win the contract. So why don't I speak to that? Like, dress nicely to this particular meeting or win this contract. You understand what I'm saying? I will speak more to the kind of person that person wants to be than what the person is going to benefit from buying my product. That's what benefit of the benefit is all about. So look like the boss that you are. I will speak to those things that the person aspires to, not to what they will benefit from, or even the functionality of my product. So when I'm now setting up my ad, when I'm creating content for whether it's a video, whether it is a file, I don't need to say too much. I need to bring in the picture that I want to be in the head of my target audience, the way they want to see themselves and all of that stuff. That's what I'm going to put there, or the way they want to see my product in action, right? Not necessarily my product as it is. So that's why images, very strong images, are very relevant when it comes to creating your ads. Strong images that speak to what the people you are trying to be. Strong images. So I'm not selling clothes, and I'm just showing material or showing the finished product on a mannequin. I'll show it on a person wearing it, wearing it in a party or wearing an open place or looking very good with it, basically. I will not just put it there. So these are strong images, strong pictures that I'm trying to push to people, basically, when I am selling my. So mental advice is that use these strong images. Don't use a lot of text, because if you fill your ads or with a lot of text, what happens is that it's not going to perform very well. Now, we've talked about determining who you want to see your ads, kind of people you want to see your ads. We've talked about targeting. Remember, you can be targeting some certain people, you can be targeting some certain areas. It's not everybody that will see you ad. It's people that you have set to see you ads that will see you ad. The kind of people, in terms of age range, in terms of demography, in terms of interest and behavior. Those are people that will see you ad. That's why two of us can be in the same place. But I'll be seeing your ads, another person may not be seeing it because I'm being targeted and you're not being targeted. So I will talk about defining your ideal customer. Now, something to help you in defining your ideal customer would be, what do your customers need? Where are they located? And then what are some of the characteristics they have as a customer? We've talked about it as buyer persona. Now, I want us to quickly do some practical work. After we do those practical work, then I'll go to the platform. I'll just show you some new things that have changed, and then we'll call it a day. So, let's use this restaurant as an example, so that I know that everybody really gets us. Let's use this restaurant as an example. Let's say Little Lemon Restaurant. Little Lemon Restaurants. What we are going to do with Little Lemon Restaurants, with the three of them, is that first of all, I'm going to talk about who the ideal customer is. And in talking about that, we'll look at the needs, the demographics, and also the interest. So I'm going to basically stop presenting now so that I can see what we are saying here. Okay. Let's quickly talk about Little Lemon Restaurant. Little Lemon Restaurant. Let's define the ideal customer of Little Lemon Restaurant. Who can help us? If you want to help us, you can just unmute your mic and just tell us, like, what are their needs? I want us to speak to it in terms of demographics and psychographics. Who are they? What are their needs? So let me just define Little Lemon Restaurant for you. Little Lemon Restaurant is an high-end restaurant, basically. I'm trying to think of a restaurant I can use as an example that relates to them, right? What are those high-end restaurants that you guys visit? You can drop in the chat box section. Michael is saying Rema. I don't know what parts he said Rema to. But Michael, what restaurants do you visit? What are those high-end restaurants that you know?
Cactus.
Yeah, Michael, you're saying something. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I said cactus.
Cactus. So where's Cactus?
VI.
In VI. So let's use Cactus as an example, right? Who are Cactus' ideal customers? What are their needs? What are their demographics? What are their interests?
Okay, so
how to define persona.
Do you want me to answer that?
Yes, please do.
Okay, basically the restaurant set up in VI, so they're looking at high net worth individuals because they are located in the premium part of town. So yeah, HNIs and people who are looking to celebrate special days. I mean, they're also close to business areas, so probably say executives who are looking to take lunch breaks. And then special moment. Yeah. It's coming off that. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay.
And you said I caught you off guard. Sorry about that. So, but I think you basically answered that question. The kind of people we are trying to reach and all of that. So, when you said high net worth individuals, you mentioned what they would need and all their interests and all of that. Blessing also mentioned here aesthetically pleasing environment, picture body. I think that's very strong. So it's clear that number one, these are their demography. They are within this certain kind of age range. I think Cactus would appeal more to younger people, right? Or am I right, Michael? So let's what are their age range? Like let's say 25, right? 25 to maybe 45. But as much as it is.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah. So we have that kind of age range. So that is established. Their demography, they live around all those VI, Lekki, and all of that stuff. They, some of them, they are very busy people who, value a time of relaxation, a time of relaxation, a time of just satisfying some of their needs in terms of rich food, exquisite environment. Michael, you said something?
I said good food.
Yeah, good food, premium kind of food, good food. So they don't just want to eat anything, and they also like aesthetically pleasing environment, like Blessing said. So these are some of their psychographics and demographics. So once that is established, we'll know that Bisola is my kind of audience. Bisola, I'm not talking about the popular Bisola, I'm just creating a Bisola in my head. So I give her a name, Bisola. She's this, all these things I've described, she's this, she's that, and all of that stuff. So it's clear. So you can see that typically we can bid for any kind of audience. Even if I'm selling what I'm selling is not premium, I'm selling to everybody. I can still define who my audience is. Very easy. You just need to look at what product am I selling? What are the kind of people that are likely going to be interested in what I'm trying to sell? Where are they and what are their behaviors? Everybody that is into business can do this, because this is like the foundation of business. Once that is established, the tools the tools are just tools in your hands. You are the one that will now define how you want to use the tool, but you need to first establish that as from the beginning. So moving on from that is clear. Now let's go to the tools now. So I'm going to present my screen so that we'll just go through the tools and just quickly see how it works before we call it a day. If you have any questions, like Comfort said at the beginning, you can just drop them in the chat section, or you can even raise your hands and then you can tell you to unmute your mic and then you can ask the question. So let me present this tab so that we'll look at the things that have changed and the things that have not changed, basically. So like I said before, you typically can go to Ads Manager in 3 different ways. I'm going to show you. You can go by just going to ads.facebook.com. Let me present this tab. Okay, I believe everyone can see my screen now. So let's go to ads.facebook.com. I believe everyone can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, just unmute your mic and say yes. Or okay. Comfort said yes already. Cool. So here, as does Facebook.com takes us here. This is like the landing page. You just need to click on create. If you have a Facebook page, then you can create a page from here.
Okay.
Okay. Is it just you? Let me. Can everybody see my screen? Others that can see my screen, please indicate. So Blessing that can see my screen.
I can see your screen now.
Okay, you can see it now. Oh, okay. So please, Blessing, confirm you can see my screen. I think others can see it already. If you already have the ads manager it takes you to is the ads manager you already have created based on the business page you already have. So it's loading my ads manager basically. So when you are there, this is what you see. Like I said at the beginning, you click on if you want to set up a new campaign. All the things that you are seeing here, they are campaigns that have been done some time ago. This belongs to an event that we used to promote then. So you click on create, the green button create. Once you click on create, what you are seeing here is really different from what you used to see, or what you see on my presentation. So what you saw on my presentation rather. So you can see all those goals remain the same, like I said, all those objectives. But the difference is that they've now been, some have been brought out of the larger part and all of that. So awareness, for instance, awareness speaks to, you know what you saw the other time? You saw brand, under awareness, you saw brand awareness and also reach. It's still the same thing. So when I show your ads to people who are most likely to remember them, it's good for reach mean. It's good for reach. What does reach mean? Reach means reaching maximum number of people who may be interested in what you are pushing, your brand. Brand awareness means reach people who are more likely to remember your brand. So you can see the difference between both of them. Then video views, so you can reach a lot of people who are more likely to watch your video. Now you see some of these sub-objectives, even under some of these objectives. As you can see here, it's good for link clicks. That means you want people to click on your links, links to your website. That's what you want to track, or app or Facebook events. It's good for landing page views. It's good for Messenger and WhatsApp, and it's good for calls. Messenger and WhatsApp is if you want people to be chatting you up, they see your ad and the call to action button they see is chat or send message. They click on it, it leads them to maybe your WhatsApp. This is your WhatsApp is selected, or Facebook Messenger. They can ask questions and all that. That's the objective. And there is the engagement objective. Engagement objective basically has to get people to engage with your content, whether it's to make comments, view videos, and all of that stuff. So you can see that some of these other still overlaps. I'm seeing conversion, and there's still conversion here. There will be, you find conversion in this app promotion, you find conversion even in it. So they overlap basically. You just need to be clear that this is the objective that you want. You can select any of these objectives under any of them. So, but the most important thing is that you need to be clear. If it's awareness you want to create, you want people to know about it, select awareness. If it is traffic you want people to visit a certain website, or you want people to click a certain link, be very clear that this is your objective. So that's the way you should choose. Don't say you want people to visit a website and you're choosing awareness, because Facebook will optimize for awareness for you. Your ads will appear to a lot of people, but a number of them may not even now click if there's a link there. Do you get? So it's very important that you choose the objective that you want to achieve. So then there is the engagement. If what you want is that you want people to interact with your content, choose the engagement option. Because your ads, for instance, if you choose our awareness option, a lot of people can see your ads and all of that, but you don't get a lot of engagement on it. So this is typically good for content creators and all of that stuff. Then if it is leads that you want, for those that are in real estate, or those that are organizing events or programs, those that are organizing events and all of that, because you need data of people, those that would always need data of people to upsell them and all of that, reach out to them, then use leads. Those that have apps that they want people to download, or they want people to interact with their app. What I mean by interact is that it's not enough for people to download the app. They also want to monitor events, like maybe when people create an account, when people use a certain feature on the app, but they want to monitor it. App promotion is the best. Don't go and be using an awareness objective or leads objective. You are going to miss it. So then sales, if what you are looking for is conversion, you actually want to make sales. You want people to buy something from you. You want to track where they are coming from, how they are buying, all of that. It is sales that is the option for you. So now let's say that, let me just choose traffic as an option. And then you click on continue. You can see that it's typically different from what you used to see before, for those of us that have had experience with it before. So when you click on it, it takes you to campaign. Running ads, there are levels to it. There's a campaign level, there's the ad set level or ad group level, and then there's the ad level. So this level, my arrow is on, is the campaign level, and that's where we are now. If I click on this level, if I really click on it, it takes me to ad set level. And if I click on this, it takes me to ad level. But here now, we are currently on the campaign level, and that's why this place is blue. So I can rename my campaign. So let's say that I'm trying to promote this event that we're organizing. I'm trying to promote it. I want people to visit the landing page to register, basically. So I create this campaign, and I call this campaign. A campaign basically just means it's a collection of different ads that speak to a certain theme that is about something. So for instance, now I can do a campaign for a series of events I'm organizing. If I sell clothes, I can do a campaign for clothes and have a separate campaign for shoes. I can separate campaign. If they are all related, I can have campaigns. I can have different ad sets under these campaigns, but typically it's to be organized. I can just have one campaign to drive a certain kind of product, a certain kind of theme. So I just want to put that out there. So let's say this is Meta business event, Meta ads events. That's what I'm calling it. And then I create that, and then I typically don't need to do anything. This special categories relates to some kind of ads that are Facebook flags. That's, Facebook has some community rules and guidelines. These are ads that are in that category. You need to indicate. So for instance, they don't support when it's about election, it's about social issues, it's about crypto, it's about all this kind of stuff. They will need to whitelist you. They need to really understand it before they can approve your ad for you to run it. So it's not those kind of categories, it's just everyday. So you can now there are two kind of buying options, right? There is the auction and then there is standard. So now, it's typically, if you've not been running ads before, you typically always see this auction. There's another option where it's already like you relate more, you set everything that you want. This one is auction. Auction basically means that it's the way, how you are you are buying ads, bidding for something. Maybe you are buying ads, someone says 500, someone says 1,000, someone says this one. What you are doing is that you are bidding. So your ad goes through an auction process, depending on what the objectives are, what your budget is, some certain other things like the quality of your landing page, the quality of your ads, and the space that is available. Because the truth of the matter is there is no only that advertising, right? So that means other people are advertising, and there will be an auction that will typically happen to choose whether your ad should show or the other person or other people's ads should show based on their own performance also. So, but typically in the auction process, your ads will always show. That's what I would say, depending on how you set your ad and also your objectives and also your budget. So then let's talk about the campaign objective, selected traffic. That's what we selected. It is still there. You can still change it if you want. And then this is just an overview, so that I may not be able to take you through everything because of time. But the good thing about this platform is that once you start with, there are a lot of things just play around with. Just test this, test that, see how it works, and then you are good to go. It is not rocket science. So you can also create A/B tests here. Maybe you have 2 ads that you want to run. You want to see the one that will perform better, so that you focus on that one, or the one that will speak to your target audience better. You can try A/B tests, and that's what this is about. But that's not what we are talking about today. And then advantage campaign budget. This speaks to, you can put it on or off. What this speaks to is that Facebook would help you distribute your budget across ad sets. You don't have to take, and they are the ones that will now say, oh, let's distribute your budget across your ad set. You don't have to say anything, or you have to put any setting in place. So you are giving the power to Facebook to say, help me to spend my budget wisely. You are not telling Facebook, I want to spend X amount on this ad set and X amount on this ad set. Facebook will look at, okay, which ad set needs more budget, which one doesn't need as much budget because it's performing better and all of that stuff. That's what this is all about. So you can decide to put it on or off. If you are putting it on, that means there are some things in your ad set level that you don't need to set anymore, because Facebook will help you optimize it. But if you are putting it off, you are saying that I want to set this thing for myself manually. So you click on next, and then if in case you have different kinds of ad sets, you can have multiple ad sets under one campaign. So let's say you have, this is just one ad set. Maybe this ad set is supposed to focus on, I want this particular ad set to reach only business people. I want another ad set to speak to maybe professionals and all that. So I can call it meta ads business owners. That's what I'm categorizing at. So my objective will be, I want leads, right? I said traffic. That's the objective I chose. So traffic to where? Is it send traffic to my website? Is it to my app, or to Messenger, or to WhatsApp, or people to call me? So it's very clear. It's very important that I'm clear on where I want the traffic to go. So if it's my website, that means I probably have a landing page where I have a form there that people can fill. That's my objective, right? So if I select website, that means I should be able to put the link of that website, the landing page there later, because she's going to ask me about it when we get to the point. So I select that. Now I'm able to now select what my budget is. What is my, now there are 2 types of budget. There's daily budget, there is lifetime budget. Now, daily budget is me saying that this is how much I want to spend per day. Or if I'm saying lifetime budget, I'm saying that this is how much I want to spend throughout the duration of the campaign. So throughout, from beginning to the end, this is how much I want to spend. It's always advisable, right, to have a lifetime budget. It's also advisable to have a daily budget, depending on you. So, but you need to, that means if you are choosing daily budget option, you need to be calculating. So if you are selling, if you want to promote for like a week, for instance, and you say your budget is, let's say, 50K, and you want to promote, you are supposed to divide the number of days you want to promote by the total amount that you have. Then you can now choose daily budget. That's how it works. So that you don't, some people make a mistake. They choose daily budget, right? They now go and put an exorbitant amount, maybe the amount they want to spend throughout the duration of the campaign. And what happens? Facebook go and spend that amount of money for one day. Especially if you now have a lot of money. It may be it's debiting your card or something. Just lose money. So then this is where you set your start date, and this is where you set your end date. Set your start date and your end date. It says I should set my. So typically what Facebook does is that it automatically sets 1 month start and end dates for you. You are now defining that, oh, I want to end in 2 weeks, I want to end in 1 week, and all of that stuff. And then this is where you choose your audience. Remember what I said. This is where you use you can create a new audience. I can also do what we call lookalike audience. This is the more technical part. If you have run a campaign before, or you already have an audience that you set before, you run a campaign before, you can select that you want a lookalike of this kind of audience. What it means is that maybe you run a campaign before that reaches a certain kind of people. Now you want to reach more people like that. You can now choose lookalike audience that look like this certain audience. When you choose lookalike audience, it will tell you to select the certain audience that you want it to look like. Basically. But if you've not run any campaign before, you choose the location that you want to ask. Remember I talked about charts to show. This Nigeria is a lot of broad. It's too broad. Remember I mentioned you can choose certain location. I can choose Lagos. It will appear. I can choose. Lekki is appearing, Victoria Island. I can choose this neighborhood. I can even under Victoria Island, I can now choose do that on maps. Actually, I can do that. I can see this place. This is where I want my ads to show. It can always be set, basically. So I remember then that I used to set a certain street on the island. I forgot the name of the street. And then I was talking about okay, so let's move forward. Then let's talk about the age range. You can see that you can always edit your age range here. You can edit your age range from what age range to whatever age range. Then you can choose your gender here too. Then you can do what I call detailed targets, what I was describing before, what their interests are, what are their behaviors. So they're interested, this kind of people I'm trying to reach, they are small business owners. All these options are going to appear. Small business, small business owners. You can see all those options. Small business, digital marketing, or advertising. You just keep selecting those bits until you are very clear that you have selected your audience. I don't want to really go into this. Then there is also advantage detailed targeting. This one is to help you reach people who are beyond your detailed target. And what it means is that you want to also spread, like you are saying that basically. So you've done all of those, and then you can now choose to save the audience. You can choose to save the audience, and then placements. Now, they've changed this. This used to just be automatic placement before, but they've started calling it advantage plus placement. It still means the same thing. It basically means making your ads appear to letting Facebook choose where your ads should appear. Like your ads should appear across all Facebook platforms, Facebook stories, Facebook feed, Facebook reels, Instagram stories, all of that. That's what this is all about. You can now choose manual placement. When you select manual placements, you can see that you can mark whether you want it to just appear only on Facebook. You can mark the others. Or depending on where you want your ads to appear. That's what manual placement is all about. You can now even go granular, depending on stories and reels. I can unmark stories and reels. I can unmark feed. I can mark feed. I can or marketing. I can mark this all these sites and all of that stuff. So you can see that you can choose. The power is in your hands to choose how you want your to appear or to reach people. And then optimization and delivery has to do with where you want your ads, like in terms of how you want Facebook to optimize your ads. You want them to optimize it for link clicks. That means what you are telling Facebook is that I want you to focus on getting as much of link clicks as possible on my ad. If you want to optimize for landing page views, you are saying that it's not just link clicks. I just don't want people to click on my. What if they're just clicking on, it's not going to my landing page, or they are not going to going to my. I'm optimizing for landing page views. I want a lot of people to view my landing page. You understand? It can be optimizing for impressions. Like I want as much people to see my ad. Impressions basically has to do with people seeing your ads, basically it appearing to people. And then you can also choose when you are charged, right? Do you want to be charged when it appears to people, or you want to be charged when people click on your ads, when it takes them to? And then this delivery type is dependent on how you bid, right? How you bid is dependent on displays. So if you are bidding, there's a certain way you bid. Maybe you have a particular amount of money you want to bid for. Like for instance, now you are bidding for let's say you have a certain budget, and I'm saying per click on this thing I'm bidding for maybe 50 cents. So let's say you have $500, right? $500 as your budget, and you're now saying that I'm bidding for 50 cents per click. What you are saying is that, okay, I'm telling Facebook that per person that clicks on this thing, I will pay Facebook 50 cents. That's what you're saying. There might be other advertisers will pay Facebook less than that, maybe 30 cents, 20 cents now, but Facebook will look at how much you are bidding for. Look at some other things like the quality of your landing page, the quality of your ad and all that, and choose whether it's your own ads that will appear at any particular time or at any given time. This time it's high in number, like as many times as possible. So you are telling Facebook that this is how much I'm willing to pay. So when you have a bid, you can now choose whether the kind of delivery type that you want. There are two types of delivery type. There is standard, there is accelerated. Standard has to do with, okay, I want my ads to be appearing the way it should be appearing normally. Accelerated has to do with, I want it to deliver very fast, quickly. I want to spend all my money and achieve all my results even before the end of my campaign. I just want to deliver quickly. That is accelerated. So once you set that, you can always choose whether you want standard or accelerated here. And then when you click on next, it takes you to your ad level, where you also give your ad a name, and you select the page that you want your ads, that is for your ad. Maybe one of the multiple pages on this my ad manager platform. So I can choose any page that I want that this ad is about. Once I select the page, I can now set up the ad. What kind of ad is it? Is it a single image, a carousel, or a collection? I can also choose an existing post, right? I can choose an existing post and say, okay, instead of me, having to create an ad manually, I already have a Facebook post, a post on my Facebook or on my Instagram. Let me go and select it. So I can come here and choose existing post, and it will take me to the page that I'm supposed to have selected a page here. If I have selected a page here, let's say I selected, let me see. Let me use this page. Let's say I've selected this page. So what happens is that you can see that the Instagram account also automatically appeared. Instagram, because it's already linked together. That's how it works, basically. So if I'm selecting existing posts, if I use existing posts, I can always come here to come and select the post that I want to use. it will show me all the posts that has happened on that Facebook page. And if it is Instagram too, I can come select Instagram and choose the post I want to promote. Basically, all of the posts I've done will appear here. Then I can select anyone. Remember, I can either choose an Instagram post or a Facebook post. It doesn't matter. It can appear across Instagram and Facebook when I'm advertising. Do you get that? So if it's Instagram post I selected, if I'm promoting it and I've set automatic bidding, automatic placement rather, that same post that is on my Instagram page can appear on Facebook, to people on Facebook, to people on Instagram, people on Messenger, everywhere that belongs to Facebook. What I'm trying to say is that because you are doing a promotion on Facebook doesn't mean you have to use a Facebook post. You can use it and your Instagram post to do that promotion. And if you want the post to appear everywhere, so you can use your Facebook post, as you can choose any of the posts. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So that has been done, and then now this is the more technical part. For some people who would want to be tracking, maybe they want to know how many visits they have to the website. However, they can. What Facebook can show you is the number of clicks that you have to that website. However, but whatever happens on that website, Facebook cannot show you unless you have installed the Facebook tracking. So there is something called Facebook Pixel. There's something that you have to put at the back end of your landing page, just so that people can always track and report those things to you. It's not always needed, right? If you want to really be technical, or if you don't have the technical setup, you don't need it, because Facebook will show you all the results you're achieving, whether it's number of clicks, whether it's number of views, whether it's number of engagement, or whatever on what you are trying to promote, basically. And then once you are done with all of these things, if I selected something, it's going to be previewed on this side of mine. And then you click on publish. And then within a few minutes, sometimes it takes longer minutes. It depends on the approval, the kind of approval your ad is going to make. Your ad is going to be approved and it starts running, basically. So that is how it works. I think I did not touch on something called how you choose your budget. Some people might be thinking that there's a strategy also choosing the kind of budget that you need to run your campaign. If you are pushing for something, you let's say you sell bags, for instance, and your bags cost you buy those bags for like 40k, and you want to be selling them for like 60k, for instance. You can, right? Let's say you cannot go and be spending the amount, maybe all your profits on the bag for ads. You have to get what we call return on investment, basically. So you have to be able to say, okay, I'm selling 5 bags. Each bag is 50k, but I bought it for 40k. So 5 bags times 50k, that's 250k. I know that my profit on that is 50k, right? Out of that 50k, I can use 5,000 or 10,000 to run my ads so that I can get a return on my investment. Basically, you have to be able to know that, okay, this is my cost price, this is my profit, this is how much I want to spend on ads, this is the return on investment I want to get. You don't select or choose a budget based on a whim. Oh, this amount of budget will perform well, or this amount. You choose it based on what are your business goals, your business objectives, and also test it in terms of performance. On Facebook here, when you are setting up your campaign, in the space for budget, when you are putting your budget and you are selecting your audience, Facebook will typically show you the number of people you are likely going to reach based on the budget you have or you put in place. It will show you. So you don't just put budget on a whim. You put budget based on what your business goals and objectives are, and also typically what Facebook is suggesting to you in terms of how your campaign is going to perform when it comes to the budget you have selected. I hope all these things I said are very clear, from the business goals to all the things I need to do before you now come to the platform. So I don't know if you have any questions. I think I'll just stop here. If you have any questions, you can just drop them in the chat section, or you can unmute your mic and ask a question, and then before we call it today. Comfort, over to you.